Wake up. Wake up. That's right. Wake up on a Tuesday. 49ers win. We're here to talk about it. Welcome aboard. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Let's go.
Don't get a lot of victory Tuesdays in an NFL season, but you get a Monday nighter, and here we are. 49ers fans, great to see you. Thanks so much for clicking on in. Welcome on back. Damon and Larry with you. Little wake up. Please like and subscribe to both channels. Larry, let me tell you, Brock set the tone with an opening drive that was McCaffrey focused, deadly efficient, gobbled up time, lots of plays, moved the ball well. 7-0 right off the rip, and then everything else went wrong, and Brock proceeded to have the worst half of football I think we've ever seen him play. That was a wild one. The 49ers got away with one last night. They're very lucky that the best of the Carolina Panthers did not show up at Levi's Stadium. I know everyone wants to give letter grades. I know everyone wants to judge the beauty pageant. The winner of last night's beauty pageant, ugly. This is the ugliest chick we've ever seen to win a beauty pageant. But you know what? All it is pass or fail from here on out. You win a game, you pass. You lose a game, you fail. Good win, weird game, and that's why we're here to talk about it. Welcome, everybody. It's great to have you. You should be thankful for that win last night. Be thankful for that.
Well, I mean, thankful for all wins, for sure. Thankful that it didn't bring a ton of new injuries. You know, that's obviously an area where the 49ers can ill afford to lose anybody. They had a month there where they lost somebody major almost every week. You just can't, you can't do the whole season like that. So it was good that they've had a couple games now where they've played and they've actually gotten W's, and the W's didn't cost them overwhelmingly. But I think today we have to discuss the elephant in the room, which is the question of, is Brock Purdy hurt a better quarterback option for the 49ers in the present than Mac Jones healthy? And that's really the question, because, I mean, we have a couple conclusions we can draw to. Either Brock Purdy's hurt and the toe is, it was once upon a time the elbow, the toe is impacting his game. Because he didn't have a lot on those 3 interceptions.
No,
I mean, we're talking about late over the middle, floating, yes. I mean, going to the right guy is one thing, but you got to have something on it, especially in the middle of the field, especially late in the down. And he didn't. And let's not talk about the 3 picks that he threw. Let's talk about the 5 or 6 that he could have thrown, that he easily could have thrown, that were dropped or should have been caught or whatever. And so you can have one of two conclusions. Brock Purdy sucks, and you never should have paid him $53 million, and wow, that was a colossal fail. Or you didn't fail there, and he is the right guy, but he's just hurt.
Okay,
and
that's
then,
it.
And then if he's hurt, then we have to go to the next question. Can he play through it? Will it make it worse? Is him playing through it a better option for the 49ers than Mac Jones, who in his last start completed 85% of his passes? And if Brock doesn't have the arm strength, or if he doesn't have the strength in his base, I don't think it's really arm strength. It's really more like if he doesn't have enough base strength in his right leg. I was sitting there next to Todd Husak, former NFL quarterback, former college quarterback, and it wasn't necessarily on the picks, Damon, but on several other throws when there's, I'm watching on the binoculars. He's standing there. He's sitting next to me watching it. He's looking at the replays. And a couple times in the game, he said, Krug, look up at the replay. Look at his right foot. Look, he's like throwing it with all arm.
It's all arm. It's all arm and shoulders. It's Larry.
Yeah,
his mechanics are off.
His mechanics are off.
I am hardly a quarterback coach, and neither are you, but we've watched enough football to know what a normal professional quarterbacking throwing motion looks like from the head to the toe. And Brock is off right now. And everything that you talked about going back to the week of Jacksonville practice with his balls floating few miles per hour off of them which for a guy who isn't known for his sprinting mile per hour throwing speed to begin with, I think does matter. He is not right. He is not right.
No.
And I think that maybe the performance that you got in Arizona, is lingering in terms of, okay, now that he's back out there playing, it's getting worse again. I don't know. It did not look good for Brock. Everything that we feared we might see in that Arizona game in terms of floaty passes and too high, and we didn't see it against Arizona, but man, it was on full display last night. And it didn't exactly go away in the second half. He played better without the turn.
No, Shanahan managed him in the second half. Damon, what were his totals? I think in the first half, I can double check it, but I think Shanahan just took the ball right out of his hands. Here's the halftime stats. Brock Purdy at half was 14 of 23, and he finished he finished 23 of 32. So we went 9 for 11. Is that right? 9 for 11 in the last, or 9 for.
Don't make me do math in real time on the air in front of the world, Larry. Come on.
Yeah, 9 for 9. Or, 23 minus 14. Yeah, did he go 9 for 9 in the second half? But he didn't throw it very much in the second half.
Yeah, he's throwing 2 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 23 pass attempts in the first half, 9 in the second half. And he did go 9 for 9 in the second half. But he took him, he's moving the pocket, he's throwing short, he's basically took the ball out of his hands. They're running the ball a ton. So it's like, what do I'm not saying, bench him, he's got to sit, all right? Because I think it's debatable. You saw Brock Purdy, he won. He was 23 of 32, whatever percentage that is, 193 yards. He threw the 3 picks, but he kept winging it, kept competing, and the guy is a great competitor, and he has an impact on everybody else. But we're not being truthful if we don't talk about the fact that he's not the same thrower that he was before the injury. He doesn't seem like he's the same runner. I do think it makes sense, Damon, what you just said, that he's going to get worse as he plays because, it's going to get more and more painful and more of a problem. So, I mean, what's the better call? Is Brock Purdy, whatever percentage you think Brock Purdy is, 80%, 70%, 60%, whatever percentage Brock's at, or Mac at full bore? I mean, I think but a lot of people would agree that Brock gives you multi dimensions that Jones doesn't. But I'm not I'm not in the camp. It's like Brock's a 10 and Jones is a 2. No. Brock might be a 7 and Jones might be a 5. Or Brock may be an 8 and Jones may be a 6. But they're very, very close. And then when you factor in an injured Brock Purdy, I think Jones is probably better than an injured Brock Purdy. And I think they ought to go with Jones and have Purdy have his surgery and move on. Move on to 26 for Purdy. Not because of the 3 picks, because of the 5 picks that he could have thrown, or the 6 picks that he could have thrown, and what it looked like.
Larry, I think we have to acknowledge, and you can say, like, hey, man, the coach has his player. And if confidence is a problem for Brock Purdy, number one, the contract says you should have all the confidence in the world about what this team thinks about you. Although Brandon Ayuk might, giggle at that somewhere. But, Shanahan stuck by his guy last night. I don't even know if that was the right choice, but that does.
What is he, Tammy Wynette?
I do think in their relationship, nice Tammy Wynette pull, by the way.
Thank you.
But look, if there was any question of a test of loyalty, Brock tested that in-game loyalty to the nth degree last night. You cannot beg your way out of a game with poor play as much as Brock did. I really thought at halftime we were going to see Mac Jones. I thought it would have been the right move. When Shanahan stuck by his guy, I was like, that's, you better not make another mistake here. And the mistakes, a couple of them actually happened. Like you said, there were 2 or 3 balls that were Pickville that did not come down in Panthers' hands. By the way, J.C. Horn, dude, come on. He's a really good football player, is he not? Stud. The confidence that the head coach has in his quarterback does mean something. I don't think we can just dismiss it. The same way we can't dismiss how poorly Brock played. So the relationship between Brock and Shanahan is clearly like as healthy as it's ever been, and he didn't move off a guy. And we all know that Shanahan constantly dances, looking over the shoulder of his dance partner for something better. And he does have something that has played so well in Mac Jones. I really thought he's going to go to Mac, and he didn't.
Because because he knows that as soon as he goes to Mac in a high-profile Monday night game like that there's a stain that stays on Brock Purdy, and you're doing more damage to your football team.
I think
you're inviting the circus to town.
But you can couch it all under, you know what? The turf toe's not right. What are we going to do? What are we going to now accuse you of mismanaging player injuries? We've been accusing them of that for 3 years now, so there wouldn't have been anything new. He could have absolutely couched that poor performance under toe was bad. We had the doc take a look at Brock at halftime, and we decided to go with Mac. Whether that's true or false, they could have come out and said that and protected and shielded the whole thing from ultra criticism. They needed to win that game. It's a good thing that they won that game. I mean, that's the first thing.
Carolina was bad.
Well, that's the thing. It's a really good thing that Carolina showed up, and that wasn't the team that was advertised. Certainly the team the week before. I was wildly unimpressed with Bryce Young. Do you watch much Carolina Panthers football? Of course you don't. Nobody does who isn't a Panthers fan or is playing that team, period. So I don't see much Bryce Young. I was just not impressed with any element of what he did at all. You
didn't like the first and goal from the one interception.
Not impressed.
I didn't like the play call, but yeah, I mean, Bryce Young is small. You know, I thought he got bad luck in the game too. McMillan had some drops. Coker had a drop. I mean,
McMillan had a terrible drop on third and short.
McMillan had a bad night, and their tight ends didn't do anything. And the Niner defense, did a nice job. I mean, credit the 49er defense and credit Jair Brown. I mean, there's another guy. People have gotten way, way too knee-jerk. This guy is a good football player. He was a third-round pick. You know, he's had some bumps in the road, and then just people are like, he's horse shit, get him out of here. It's like
everybody in the secondary.
He's not horse shit. He's a young defensive back on a team that has no pass rush and has had a lot of turnover, and he's had 3 different coaches in 3 different years, and it's like he's looking for a little continuity, and believe me, I'm telling you, man, this guy was a really good football player at Penn State, productive interceptor, productive tackler,
good hands,
great athlete. He was on the the Bruce Feldman freaks list because he can power clean the gym and he lifts a ton. He's a great athlete. He's very strong. He's a smart kid. Football's really, really important to him, and he's coming around, and he's going to get better. You got to let these things, they got to. You don't just put stuff in the crock pot and pull it out 20 seconds later or 20 minutes later. You got to let it come together. You got to let it cook a little bit. And that's the Niners secondary. They got a lot of young talent back there, and you're not going to get some results some days. You just got to let it cook.
A lot of guys, a lot of fans who want young players to be instantly polished, finished products early in their career are the same group of fans who the minute they don't pick up that first down on their game of Madden, they hit the reset button. They want it all to be perfect at all the time. And that's just not how football works. Jair Brown, game ball.
Rage quit. I think the term's rage quit.
Rage quit, yeah.
Rage quit.
Jair Brown, that's a game ball for you. I really think that he changed that entire game. I bet you that the Carolina Panthers might have woken up a little and been right in that game had he not had that interception in the end zone, the first of his 2 picks. He changed the tone of that game, and then Brock did everything he could to give it back early on. And look, Christian McCaffrey had that. So let's do a couple of things that we normally don't do. Let's give a compliment to Colton McKivitz. Colton McKivitz, we crush his mistakes. Him pouncing on that CMC fumble 15 yards down the field is one of the biggest plays he has made in any game we have watched this year, maybe his signature moment of the year. That is another one of those. Had that ball been given away at that time, do the 49ers get this game back? I mean, their turnovers were literally their attempted turnovers were happening like almost with Carolina in the red zone. I mean, they could have gotten so screwed by field position and bad turnovers, and they didn't really get haunted by them. Best game for the secondary of the year.
Before we're moving all over the place. First
Okay.
of all, I talked to Colton McKivitz after the game about that play. I said, "Hey, man, Colton, tell me about that play." And he's like, "Hey, man, that's the way it's coached. Is that you run off the ball and then you follow the ball, and you're following the ball. Even I think a lot of people think, and some O linemen only get out front." And once the ball carrier's behind them, they don't run behind the ball. But they really do applaud the offensive linemen for running behind the ball. It's kind of like the same concept of let's bring all 11 defensive hats to the football just in case something happens. And the same thing can be said for the offensive lineman. So you follow the ball carrier, not because you're going to lay a block because he's already in front of you, but just in case what happened happens, which is, somebody came from behind. McCaffrey never saw him. The guy popped it loose. That's how you're going to get the ball away from Christian, because he's not going to drop it when you're right in front of him. But if he doesn't see you, he's not a fumbler. He's going to hold it pretty tight. But if he doesn't see you, you're going to be able to pop it out. And the defender popped it out, and it's bouncing on the ground. And McKivitz followed the play. And I said to him, "What is the technique? You're 6'6", 310 pounds. You got shoulder pads, a helmet. The ball's oblong. It's bouncing around. You've been doing this a while. Go ahead. Tell me, what's the technique?" And he's like, it was really funny. And he kind of did it in the locker room. He's like, really, you got to make sure that when you're diving on it, you're not diving on it and you're not knocking it away. You have to dive around it. And in one process, you have to bring it to you with your arms as you're cradling it. It would be like how you would catch like a baby or something. It's like you don't want to damage the ball. You don't want to pop on top of the ball because it's going to squirt out somewhere else. And you don't want to necessarily just try to grab it, pick it up and run with it. You're in this grab, fall, correct, circle it and cover it. It's like he was showing it to me. He took out a football. He was showing it to me. So you're right, though. Great
cradle it like a baby.
Great play by Colton. And it was, now, if you look at it on paper, it wasn't that pivotal, right? Because Colton got the fumble, and then they pretty much stopped him. The Niners didn't do anything with that. But you know what? So what? I mean, it was like, who knows what they were going to do with it? I mean, it was a huge play for Colton to come away with that fumble.
Absolutely, it was. And again, a suggestion of pressure on Bryce Young. Few plays there. We saw suggestions of pressure after pressure basically did not knock on Jacoby Brissett's door hardly at all in Arizona. So a better game up front for a 49ers defensive line, which did a decent job against the run and put a little pressure on a young quarterback. It's the secondary that won that game. The secondary, that's the best secondary play from a 49ers team of the year, beyond the shadow of a doubt. And I'm talking, Malik Muhammad. Malik Mustafa had a really, really good game. And Jair Brown, obviously, is 2 picks. Diamador Lenore is already among one of the best corners in all of football. I don't think that there's any debate there. That guy shuts dudes down and out. Renardo Green, I know he got burnt by Teteroa McMillan on that 27-yard touchdown. Nicest throw of the night, biggest play of the night, I think, for either team. He got toasted on that one play, was very good in every other play of the game. You got to have a short memory. You're going to get burnt as an NFL defensive player. It's going to happen. There's too many good coaches and players in this league for anyone to have a perfect game.
He didn't have a great game, by the way. He didn't have any tackles, and then he gave up that touchdown. The touchdown that he gave up, man, I mean, he just got beat. Just got straight beat.
He got beat on that one. But the rest of the game,
full trail position the rest of that play. I mean, that one right there was a bad play by Renardo. I mean, it was a way over aggressive play. And then he's just chasing that from behind the rest of on the McMillan 29-yarder. Yeah, I mean, he McMillan beat him inside, and Green never caught up the rest of the play. Just chased him all the way to the end zone.
And let's talk about just the biggest picture. The 49ers won with an objectively bad game from their quarterback. The 49ers, I didn't think we're going to play a defensive, like a defense forward football game for the remainder of this year. I didn't think that they had it in them. That was the best. They can't play defense better than that. You can say, though, that's a lot of Carolina, and it was. But you really cannot play much better defense than that, given how they're currently constructed. So for the 5th week in a row, Larry, my official recommendation is burn the tape, nothing to lose, no grades to be assigned. It's pass or fail from here on out. They passed. They won. They're 8-4. If I walked up to you in the middle of training camp and said 8-4 through 12 weeks, you buying it or selling it?
Well, I mean, I picked them to go 11-6, and I mean, 10 to me, 10 wins was a lock with this schedule. It hasn't gone the way I thought it would go. But it was kind of a weird game from the standpoint of 49er defense played pretty well, but I thought Carolina's offensive game plan was bizarre. I mean, in a game that was 10-3 at halftime, and it was anybody's ball game, Carolina has 29 pass attempts and 13 runs on a night where Dowdle went for 6.3 a carry. I mean, that's a little bizarre. I mean, Chuba Hubbard had 5.3 a carry. Dowdle went for 6.3 a carry, but Chuba got 3 carries and Dowdle got 6. I mean, it was weird. I guess they must have felt like, man, the Niners have no pass rush, and Bryce Young's going to operate back there. But I mean, he made some bad decisions, and as we said, Jair Brown made him pay. McMillan. How about this for, I mean, a ridiculous stat line? They threw McMillan 7 passes, and he wound up with 2 catches. So that's never good. Anytime your target number is 3 times your catch number, that's not a good thing. So, and then I thought the Niner offensive line surprised me in this game. No sacks of Brock Purdy, only 1 hit on Brock Purdy the entire night. The only hit was the A'Shawn Robinson quarterback hit. That was it. So, I mean, the offensive line is doing their part to keep Brock healthy. And now the question is, what do you do next week in Cleveland against the Browns team that, will start Shador and hit the quarterback 20 times? They hit the Raider quarterback 20 times on Sunday, and they sacked him 10. So they got 10 sacks in a game. The Niners have 12 sacks on the year. So it's going to be interesting. But it's like, how much longer, if Brock Purdy continues to play like this, where they're winning, but they're winning almost in spite of him, not necessarily because of him, at what point do we see? I mean, it's not going to, they've already paid him, right? So if they bench him and they're like, man, he stinks. And it's not, because right now, Damon, it's kind of interesting. Brock, you threw 3 picks. Was it related to your toe? No, it wasn't related to the toe. Okay. Kyle, was Brock's, interceptions, were they related to the toe? No, it's not related to the toe. Okay, fine. We believe you. So then what? Are we supposed to believe he's not very good? That he's not a good player?
I'm just going to say this about Brock. I really like him as a quarterback. I really like him as a leader of this football team. There's a lot I like about the guy. He is turnover prone since going back to that Ravens game. He has thrown 19, I think, interceptions in his last 19 games. That's got to stop. Period.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win. You can't win with the turnovers. You can't win with the turn. But I guess my point is this: if you say that it's not the toe, and Brock maintains it's not the toe, well, our only conclusion is to believe that you're not very good.
Your biggest mistake.
That's a worse thing. That's worse. That's, you spent $200+ million, 181 guaranteed on the quarterback that's not the right quarterback. That's a big thing. So I guess
you're getting lied to in a press conference.
There's a term. The term is called soft benching. And are we going to see that? Are we going to see that? Are we gonna? I get the feeling that he's got one more game like this, where he comes out, turns the ball over, a bunch of loopy passes, doesn't really look sharp, and then it's gonna be like, you know what, we're shutting him down because of the toe, and that's gonna be perceived, whether it's true or not. It's gonna be perceived as a soft benching, as like, hey, Brock came back, he didn't play well. And so they benched him for Jones. So, I mean,
you know what? You can bench him soft. You can bench him hard. I don't care. I don't care about the level of his benching because it's not some permanent, irreversible decision. It's not like we've removed the starting pitcher from this game and you'll never see him again tonight. You know, there's always next week.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between we took Damon off. We took Damon off the air. Why? Oh, dude, he showed up and he was hoarse and he sounded his laryngitis, and it's like, oh, we sent him home. Oh, we took Damon off the air. Why? No, he sounded fine. His voice was fine. He's just made all these crazy points, and he said some ridiculous things about Jonathan Kuminga, and it's like, we sent him home. You know what I mean? It's like, what's worse? I'd much rather be sent home with laryngitis than, you know what? I didn't like the way he operated the show. That's the difference. If they send him home because he's hurt, then he's hurt.
Well, here's the thing.
They don't lose face. But if they bench him and he's not hurt, then all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a second. Did you invest in the wrong guy?
Larry, if I'm your boy, though, you can soft bench me and just say, hey, his voice sounded fine, but he had stomach trouble, or he had the trots and could not stay in the studio. You can lie to the press to cover up what is really happening, and they do it all the fucking time.
It's not about that, though.
The words coming out of anybody's mouth. Brock, is it your toe? Of course he's going to say no. He doesn't want to say he's hurt. You don't announce to everyone, I'm hurt, when we all know you're hurt. You just don't talk about it. No excuses. Right. Nobody wants them. You say, no, it's not the toe. Bullshit, it's not the toe. I've been watching your entire career. You haven't played a game that I've missed yet. It's the toe.
But you're saying, you claimed 15 minutes ago that, and I can show you the court reporter, that it was that the turnovers all stem back to the Ravens game. Well, that's pre-turf toe. So is it really about the turf toe, or is it just about the turnovers?
Here's the thing, though. I'm not going to relitigate every game that was just played. We're only talking about last night. I thought last night was a toe problem, and I think the best thing to solve this toe problem is this backup quarterback who's just been A+ pretty much since being inserted. I'm not here to protect anybody's reputation, their feelings, and I don't think Shanahan needs to do that. Look at it this way. Brock can literally lead this team to a Super Bowl and still get motherfucked by 20% of the fan base. So who cares what anyone thinks? Just win the goddamn game with the best player you have available and healthy to play tonight. I don't think Brock is that player. I think Brock might have become that player had they sat him through the bye week, which is next week. But now Brock gets to, and by the way, I thought we'd say something nice about Colton McKivitz this week, because next week he's got Myles Garrett. I don't know how good Brock is going to be in Cleveland. In the
rain or snow.
How about this? They're going to lose next week. If Brock is anything like that next week, if Brock isn't throwing zippy passes in practice this week, you need to go back to Mac. I'm really surprised that Shanahan did not make that move. It's an awful, it's a testimony to how much he believes in Brock, and that's great. And I've already seen the Dave Lombardi. These 3 interceptions can be great for Brock. I know. I don't really think so.
No, he didn't. Did he?
Kind of. And I love Dave. I think Dave's really good at what he does, but there's no way to sprinkle sunshine on that first half.
Look, when that blimp hit the stadium in the middle of the game, it was a positive. And here's why. Because, we got to see something we've never seen before. And, it turned into an inferno and lots of people died. But you know what?
It was a good year.
We've never seen that before. Will you ever forget that you saw that? No. So you know what? that blimp hitting the stadium was a real positive. The Hindenburg, you know what? We needed to see big flames, and we got them. We got them. And so the Hindenburg was a real success.
How often can I show you my Hindenburg? It's just sitting right here. I got the Led Zeppelin cover. Look at that 3D. I think I got that from the Bone Rock Closet in 2000 and whatever. Look at that.
We needed the Titanic to split in two and wind up at the bottom of the North Atlantic. It was a vitally important movie.
Hey, had that boat not sunk, we don't get that movie. So it was worth it, right?
I can still smell the fresh paint. All right.
Hold on real quick. Before we go any further, we forgot to say thanks. And we're always so thankful to our sponsors. And Larry, I know that you're inviting everyone out to Pig in a Pickle, December 7th, Corte Madera. I got the details for anyone else who needs them. Lay it on, Larry.
Yeah, seriously, we're going to do the Krug Show meet and greet. We don't do a lot of them, but we're going to do one at Pig in a Pickle on December 7th. Last year, we had about 50 people come out. And just an open house. I'll be there during the bye week. It's, I got to do it during the bye week, guys, because I would love to do it during a Niner game, but I'm at the games. And then when the road games, Kev wants me to be in the studio and all this stuff. So I got to do this during the bye week, but it actually works out perfect because Corte Madera Mall might be the best Christmas shopping mall in the entire Bay Area. It's really, really cool. There's all kinds of great stores. And Pig in a Pickle is right there in the middle of it. So stop by. We're going to be there during the bye week. I'll be there from as soon as they open all day, having barbecue, drinking some sodas, having a couple beers, talking with a lot of the biggest Krug Show fans. We'll be giving away a Ricky Pearsall autographed mini helmet, courtesy of my other sponsor, Anthony Catania, and my good friends at Sharp Corners Sports Cards and Collectibles. They've donated that. We'll be giving that away to one lucky Krug Show viewer. And I'm really excited. I'm really fired up. And it's December 7th.
Am I eligible to win, Larry? Am I eligible to win a
friends
mini
and family of the show cannot win? By the way, I came last night. I'm in the press box, and a guy comes up to me and he's like, "I need you to meet this young lady." And I'm like, "Okay." And sure enough, there's this young lady who's probably maybe 25 or something like that. And his guy's like, "Dude, this woman is the biggest fan of your show of all time." And sure enough, shake her hand, and starts quoting the show and thanking me, thanking you, thanking all the different people that have been on the show. So anyway, very, very nice. It was nice meeting her last night. Lots of fans of the show, and you're all welcome. It's just going to be an open house. Bring your significant other. If they don't want to hang out and watch football and eat barbecue, let them go Christmas shopping for an hour. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great day, December 7th. I'm going to bring the wife. She's going to hang out. Kev, I think, is going to be in Hawaii.
Good. You got Amy. That means Amy, I think I can drag Jillian.
I'm going to bring my wife. I'm going to bring whatever kids I can bring. We're fired up. Really excited. So check us out. Pig in a Pickle, not in Emeryville. We'll be in Corte Madera. They are opening a third location in Petaluma. We'll tell you more about that as we go. But thanks to Damon and Mary for being the owners of Pig in a Pickle and doing a great job. And thanks to them for sponsoring the Krug Show. So thanks to Pig in a Pickle. Join us on December 7th. We should also probably say thank you to Sleeper. 49er football season presented all season long on both my channel and Damon's channel by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. LARRY, easy to remember. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. Thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show.
You want to talk about not getting your sleeper? I'm guessing you took that Bryce Young yardage over like we talked about. I lost my parlay on that one. Bryce didn't even come close to getting to 205, which I think you and I said was going to be an easy number for him to hit.
I thought 300 was in the works.
And by the way, Ricky Pearsall, what would you say it is you do here? Dude. Ricky Pearsall. They probably should not have terminated Brandon Ayuk's anything until they figured out whether or not Ricky Pearsall can play, and we still don't know.
I mean, if I say anything at all, people are like, "Yeah, you're being mean to Ricky," but whatever. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Hey, when's Ricky going to be nice to us? Okay,
it's like catch a freaking touchdown. I mean, it's not that
catch a touchdown, catch a football, make a play. Do something.
I mean, he's just running around out there getting a workout in. I'm just so tired of hearing about how great people are who don't do shit. Either produce or shut up. But I don't want to hear about you if you don't produce. And there's been so much talk about Ricky Pearsall, and the talk to catch ratio sucks. and the talk to, the absolute, everybody loves Ricky, score a freaking touchdown. My God. Not a Ricky Pearsall fan at this point. Nice guy, good dude. Sorry that he got shot. Totally forgettable wide receiver. Doesn't get anything done.
Show me the wide receiver that isn't forgettable. The only wide receivers that aren't forgettable are the guys who we never get to know in the first place. Jordan Watkins, why'd you bother drafting? Why'd you bother drafting anybody? This team shouldn't draft another wide receiver or a running back ever again because they instantly hate the guys that they draft. All the time. You had three.
Well, you know what it is that there's a disconnect between the personnel department clearly and the coaching staff. Otherwise, why would you trade up for a Garendo only to never use him? Why would you never use Jauan Jennings? Why would somebody unearth Corey Kiner? He looks great all summer, and then you cut him loose and you have nobody else.
I was told he was Emmitt Smith, Larry.
He looks great. He looked great.
By the way,
I still think Corey Kiner's really good. I think Corey Kiner's is in Minnesota right now, and when he does play well, people are going to be like, "What? What's going on?" So the Niners, they're not drafting the right guys.
You know who also gets the "what would you say it is you do here" treatment is Demarcus Robinson. Dude, my YouTube channel is impacting this season more than he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's an odd situation, but I mean, he wasn't given any kind of big money, so there's not Ricky Pearsall was a first-round draft choice. He's supposed to be one of the best players on your team. He doesn't do anything. What does he do? And I don't want to hear about how his presence is the key linchpin that gets everybody else open. Fuck
what?
You.
Who said that?
Seriously, anybody saying that, fuck off. I mean, shut up. Seriously, shut up. I'm tired of hearing that.
No.
Oh, Ricky didn't have any catches, Krug, but, he drew coverage away from Jauan Jennings.
We're talking about what? Ricky Pearsall's gravity like he's Steph Curry? Get out of here.
I mean, stop it. I mean,
okay.
You're embarrassing yourself. You are absolutely embarrassing yourself. I mean, yeah, I've got a talk show host on my radio station, and he gets terrible ratings, but man, he sets things up for everybody else at the station. No, he just sucks. If he gets no ratings, he just sucks.
Is there anyone you're speaking of specifically?
If you don't get catches, if you don't get catches and you don't score touchdowns, you're not good. All right, so enough Ricky talk. I mean, seriously, do something, produce. And don't turn this is not about me. This is about him. My God. I mean, the people are like, Krug, why do you got it out for him? I don't have it out for him. I actually want to see him do well. I keep rooting for him to do well, only to see him do nothing. Week after week after week after week after week. And the guy's played 5 or 6 games this year. He has nothing. Nothing. What's he doing out there? Put somebody else out there.
Ricky Pearsall has produced as much in the games he's missed as the games he's played. That's never a good place to be operating from.
People are ripping Jacob Cowing left and right. They've basically done the same thing. They've basically done the exact same thing. Ricky's had a couple games, but other than that, Cowing's probably had a couple practices. But I mean, they're neither guy is doing it, except one guy was drafted in the 4th round and was an afterthought. The other guy was drafted in the 1st round over Frazier, the center from West Virginia.
I got to be honest with you. I don't think he can look around the rest of the league and say I'm a $20 million wide receiver, but Jauan Jennings looks around this room and goes, they should be paying me fucking 30. I'm the only guy out here who does anything as a wide receiver for this team.
Tough as hell. Yeah, you're right. He's a total badass. Here, JJ, and by the way, JJ got punched in the balls by Trevon Moreg at the end. I mean, that was dirty as hell. Who does that?
So it was It was one of the most delivered to the bullseye nut shots you will ever see in a sporting event.
Ridiculous.
I didn't see that in real time. I saw Ricky blow up after, or Jauan blow up after the game, and I thought, oh, he might even get suspended for that for a week. That's bad. But no. The NFL has to go back and look, but make sure we don't get flagged here, Larry.
Here we go.
Series.
The guy took a cheap shot and hit him in the balls, and I was real proud of Jauan for not losing his mind up there. And
I mean, that's not one of those grazing nut shots. That is straight up on the chinny chin. That's brutal right there.
That ain't right.
So, by the way, none of these guys are wearing cups. No. So, all I can say is that Jauan Jennings, 5 catches, 41 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 nut shot, and there better not be any suspension. That is one of those no harm, no foul. Like, had Jauan just done that at the end of the game, he might have been facing suspension. You get punched in the dick like that, you can go DEFCON 1 on a dude. The fact that he didn't do it in the game is nice discipline. Thank you very much, Jauan Jennings.
I
didn't tell anyone, by the way, though, when we did a sponsor thing, let me tell you, grab a sandwich at Ike's. Nobody wants to be cooking right before Thanksgiving. Grab a sandwich from Ike's. One of the biggest bar nights of the year is tomorrow night. It's going to be packed, I bet you, at the Dubliner West Portal. People get together. Kids come back from school. The amount of kids who went off to college who are going to come back home from their freshman year and hook up with an old high school girlfriend. That's like 80% of all kids coming. And this is a fun week for the bar and restaurant industry. We got the big.
It's a great. I mean, the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving when
Fantastic.
You were in college.
Oh, it was the best.
It was the best of times. I mean, seriously, you'd come home. Oh yeah, there she is. Where did you go to school? Oh, yeah, I went here. Yeah, it was great to see you. Yeah, we should rekindle. We could rekindle tonight. Look at that. Amazing.
By the way, SF Indigo, Damon, you're old. Kids don't have sex these days. Oh, you're right about that. Right.
Yeah. No, but they'll text each other while they're playing Minecraft. That's maybe the equivalent back now. Today is did you get laid? No, but we texted during Minecraft. Oh.
Hey. Offensively,
bust out a couple cools.
Yeah. Offensively, the 49ers were good on third down, and defensively, that's one of their best games they played in a really long time. The Panthers were 1 of 7 on third down attempts. By the way, that's getting off the field, right? They only had 7 third down tries the entire game. That's a good night for the 49ers defense. It really is. 14% conversion rate on third down. You're going to win football games. Even a game you turn the ball over 3 times in. And again, 2 interceptions by Jair Brown means you only have a turnover differential of 1. That is survivable. Rare is the 3 interception game survivable. So 49ers, again, burn the tape. Ugly win. Keyword, not ugly. Keyword, win. Now it is a handle your business in Cleveland. And I have my doubts because getting your ass kicked on the line of scrimmage is one of your calling cards. And I know that the Browns are better up front. What kind of weather is that game going to be? And then just get through that game. If it's a win, God bless. Hopefully there's nobody else hurt in that game. And then the single most anticipated bye week in the history of 49ers football. They need this bye week. They need this bye week as bad as they needed that win against the Panthers. My God, this team needs a bye week.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's a late bye week. It's a week 14 bye. But, a couple things on this defensive effort. One, Curtis Robinson. Now, I know Carolina didn't run the ball a lot, but, I mean, he stepped in for Tatum Bethune. Bethune was piling up 10 to 15 tackles a game. Curtis Robinson had 3 tackles. So, well, I didn't, I've got to rewatch the game. And check out the all 22, but that's a really low number. I'd like to see that be a much higher number. I also don't like my inside linebacker, main tackler of my defense, to be the 6th leading tackler on my defense. But that's what happened. Now, granted, it was more of a passing game, and thus the DBs got a little bit more involved. Niners did go big nickel a little bit with Jason Pinnock. He got in there a little bit.
I'm not going to try to thread the needle on anyone's tackle totals when the opposing team only ran 43 plays. Only 43 offensive plays for the Carolina Panthers.
3 tackles. 3. I mean, I was hoping for more like 8 or 10.
Sure.
And to get 3, I mean, Malik Mustafa was flying around. He made 7 tackles. I like the way, I'll say this. I like the young Niner DBs. Now, right now, it's not showing itself because they got no pass rush. So the young DBs they're going to look occasionally good, but sometimes really bad because there's no rush up front. But, man, they got it right. Between Mustafa, Upton Stout, Jair Brown, Demo Lenore, I mean, you got some really good young DBs there. Siegel eventually is going to get back in there and do some things. Eventually, Collins and West and Martin are going to get into the mix, and eventually they'll get Bosa and Warner back and add a couple more pieces. And when they do, I think you're going to look back at this secondary and go, yeah, you know what? That thing came together in 2025 when those guys didn't have any rush up front and they had to just kind of, fight and struggle. And that's right now they're going through that fight and that struggle, but there's a lot of talented young guys there.
I am working on a huge stocking stuffer Christmas bonus if I'm Jed York for Robert Saleh, and I'm sending it to his house with a bouquet for his wife and saying, we really want you guys here next year. What do we need to do to make that happen before you go back out on that head coaching search? Robert Saleh is, in the running maybe with Christian McCaffrey for this team's MVP this year. What he has done with duct tape and spackle is pretty impressive, all things considered, isn't it?
Well, not only that, I mean, I was mentioning, I think it's to you, it might have been to somebody else, but Robert Saleh had a key quote last week, and he's like, you know what I really want for our young DBs and our young defensive players, and then everybody kind of paused. He's like, I want them to be playing their best football in January. And I thought to myself, man, none of these guys ever say anything by accident. That is something he thought about. What do I want to say? How do I want to frame this? What do I want to? And it's a brilliant quote. Why? Because it tells your guys, we're going to be playing ball in January. 1. So that's a huge one. 2, we're expecting you to get better every day. And it's about it's not about the journey. It is about the destination, So get ready to play your best ball. Nobody's going to care about the mistakes you made in October if you pick off 2 passes in January in a big game and the 49ers win. So I like that. Because, a lot of these corners, a lot of these rookies get down on themselves, and it's like, because the season starts wearing them down. And in reality, they should be fully charged, knowing that what comes next is going to define them much more than what has already happened. So I like that.
What he does next week to confuse Shedeur Sanders is going to be really interesting, right?
Well, I'll amend that. I think there's going to be so much talk this week about Shedeur Sanders, and I don't think that's the guy that you got to worry about. The guy you got to worry about is Quinshon Judkins, who's 6'1", 225 pounds, runs in the 4.4s, and is one of the best running backs in football. And to me, this is the guy. I mean, if you think Dowdle was tough to bring down, wait until you get a full run at Quinshon Judkins. That's the guy that can win the game for the Browns, Judkins. So you got to. I mean, I like Shedeur. He makes a couple plays. He runs around. But, 50% completion percentage, that's fine. His decision-making is really iffy. But Judkins is 4'4" on a 225-pound back, and he ain't no picnic to tackle. So he could win the game by himself. And Dylan Sampson is another guy that, Shedeur's going to dump it in the flat to Dylan Sampson. He did that a lot against the Raiders. And those 2 backs could single-handedly beat the Niners. So that I
think that look, Myles Garrett is your biggest worry in this game. But yeah, as we talk about, who's this running back, who's that running back, and look at the carries, yardage that Christian McCaffrey is just not normal anyway. I don't care. He's still the best running back in football. Christian McCaffrey had a better offensive line. Those per yard averages would be a lot better. He is being overused in real time, and Shanahan's doing nothing to fix that problem, which is odd because it seems like Brian Robinson Jr. is running better and harder at this point in the season than he was when he was first traded for. I would be giving him more carries and trusting him more, especially at the end of that game last night. Again, it felt like McCaffrey was being put in low leverage situations for reasons that were, well, this is the team that he played, got drafted by, and this means a lot to him. Look, that was exercised in the opening drive. Do you realize on that opening drive, McCaffrey had 6 carries on that opening drive and 3 receptions, 9 touches on the opening drive. He is the offense. That's it.
It's too much. It's too much.
It's too much.
It's way too much. It's like, come on, Kyle, what are you doing? I mean, the usage is just ridiculous. Why? Why are you running this guy into the ground? Why? Why can't you use other backs? I mean, they can't use other backs when they're up multiple scores. I mean, it's like they have like 3 different modes. Use Christian. Fuck, you better use Christian. And hell, if I'm using anybody but Christian. I mean, those are their 3 modes. They don't have you know what? It's a long year. Let's use Brian Robinson. It's use Christian. We sure as hell better fucking use Christian, and you better not use anybody but Christian.
He's Kyle Shanahan's offensive heroine. And everyone else to him is methadone. He doesn't nearly get that high unless it's Christian McCaffrey. And look, the numbers are amazing. This was coming into last night's game, so this doesn't even include last night's production. This is from Akash Anavaranthian. I saw this. Christian McCaffrey, since being traded to the Niners in 2022, had 1,000 touches, 5th most in football, 4th most scrimmage yards, 5,690, 3rd most touchdowns with 45, 4 playoff wins, 2 NFC championship games, and he is literally the only offensive thing that they can count on week after week after week that they have. You can't even set your clock to George Kittle's performance like you can to Christian McCaffrey. Shanahan and Lynch have already been fired had they not traded for Christian McCaffrey. We talk about how Brock saved their reputations, and he did. Without Christian McCaffrey, I think there's another regime here already. That's how important he is. And, you know, Kyle is having a really good year, all things considered, but he is so addicted to using Christian McCaffrey that he needs to be sent to some sort of offensive rehab and be given other options in which to live his life. And Brian Robinson is just sitting there, a good player that you traded for. Again, who reaches for more running backs that he then goes out of his way to not use? This happened with Elijah Mitchell. This happened with Jordan James. This has happened with everyone not named McCaffrey.
I mean, it's awesome that you get a great toy on Christmas, but it's not awesome if you play with it so much that it's broken before New Year's. I mean, that's kind of what McCaffrey is to Kyle Shanahan. It's his favorite toy, and he just plays with it endlessly, and at the expense of all other players. I mean, it's like, what is Brian Robinson? Brian Robinson was a starting running back in Washington, and he gets barely any run. He's a total afterthought. It's like, I get it. Christian's great, but Christian's so great that you're going to need him in all these games. So why run him into the ground? I just think that their usage of McCaffrey is just crazy. It's crazy. You don't need to use him this much. And it's not in these games. It's the games like the New York Giants game where you're up multiple scores inside of 4 minutes and you're still handing him the ball. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It can't be both. He can't be both this, absolutely irreplaceable, unbelievable. Nobody can replace this guy. And yet he's worthy of using on a bad surface in the fourth quarter up multiple scores when you have 2 months plus of football ahead of you. It's just not wise. It's like, I love my Bentley. Okay, great, but you're taking it off-roading now.
Right. You don't take it to a camping trip.
Right.
And by the way, that lets the Bentley know you love it. Right? Like, the worst thing you can do, listen, Gary Radnich, Bentley. But the worst thing you can do is like, again, break your own favorite toy. And Shanahan is, I don't think he's going to be satisfied until Christian McCaffrey's in traction. It's amazing how he does not protect not just the health of his player, but the health of his own season with the way that he dangles Christian McCaffrey out there to just take some meaningless hits. It's odd. It is really, really odd. Speaking of the other odd thing, and you were saying earlier that the Panthers made some weird decisions and choices. I think Dave Canales felt the pressure of the first big game he's really ever coached in. This game mattered. This was you win, you're in first place, sole possession of the NFC South for the Carolina Panthers. And I thought that Canales, when he took the point off the board of the PAT to go for 2, Larry, in a 1-possession game, what is he doing? Now, I understand that, 8 points, now you need a 2-point conversion. And it was still technically a 1-possession game, but why?
I mean, that's not the point. I agree. I said it to Todd Husak at the time. I'm like, what? First of all, it was a 2-point conversion. You didn't have to go for the 2-point conversion there. That was kind of bizarre. But then the bigger question is, why are they throwing the ball on 1st and goal from the 1? And when you don't have the play, I mean, obviously Bryce Young made the interception, not Canales, but I mean, who called the play? It's like, you just ran your quarterback. I think on the play before the interception in the end zone by Jair, they had just run a quarterback run to get right down in there. And it was like, what the heck? What are you doing? That was unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so on that interception, I'm looking at it here. On the first interception by Jair Brown, let me see exactly. Yeah, so I guess that was their second possession. Yeah, Young on 3rd and 2 from the 8, Bryce Young runs for 7 yards. I mean, nothing reeks of we're scoring a touchdown here more than 3rd and 2 from the 8 turns into 1st and goal from the 1. Why? To me, that's the biggest mistake. Your 1st and goal from the 1, your quarterback just ran for 7 yards. You're down 7-0. Punch it in, and you've got a 7-7 ball game. Instead, he drops Bryce Young back to pass, and Young gets picked off.
By the way, how about
Tommy Trumbull?
How about the tackle that Malik Mustafa made right at that goal line right there? If he doesn't make that tackle, this game feels so much differently. Because look, Carolina not being able to get anything going while they're taking the ball away, possession after possession after possession after possession. I mean, there was the McCaffrey fumble nearly made that 3.5 turnovers that the 49ers just gave the Panthers. And they did nothing with them. Absolutely nothing with them. I don't know what it really means, but the Niners are now 3-0 in primetime games this season. Their 54th win on Monday Night Football ties the Steelers for most in Monday Night Football history. They've got 2 more primetime games later on this year. So being good in primetime can't be a bad thing. The other note, nice job, Matt Gay. Nice job, Matt Gay. Where no one's upset about what you did last night, because you did what you were supposed to do last night. They flirted right on the edge of his range there with a 47-yarder, but he hit it. He hit his 29-yard chippy, made both of his PATs. So, kicking is it was a consistent adventure, but for Eddie Pinheiro, nice to get a good effort out of your 3rd kicker of the season. So good job there. And again, burn the tape. Nothing left to say. You want to talk about the path ahead?
Well, no, there's plenty to say. One of the things that I think we haven't said that needs to be said is that the 49er offensive line did a really nice job in this game.
They did.
They did a really nice job. I'm going to show we crush this guy all the time because I really am not a fan. I just think he's underwhelming as a player. But Brendel, the Puni had the highest rated game, but Brendel, McKivitz, all these guys had good games. Here's Baldi's breakdown. Watch this Brendel highlight here. This is a great play from Brendel.
Let's study this weak side toss that led to a McCaffrey touchdown and see what made it go. First is the pin block by Jauan Jennings on the outside. That block is key. No penetration. Now you watch Trent and Brendel get to their second layers. All right, here comes Juice now for the corner. So McCaffrey's patient. Now there's the alley right there. But the key to this whole play right here, like everybody's got their block, is Brendel. See, Brendel seals his linebacker, but he sees Morrig coming and he blocks him. Morrig's going to make that play right there if Brendel doesn't get him. So let's study it from this angle. Like Puni and Brendel have got Ashawn Robinson 94 in the middle linebacker. So watch the angle. It's geometry. Look at the angle that Brendel has, the athletic ability to get down there. Now they both got their blocks. There it is. All right. Now watch Brendel. He sees Morrig coming. Like this is a Black Friday Macy's 2-for-1 sale right there. That gets McCaffrey in the end zone. That is a great play by Jake Brendel and a good run by McCaffrey.
That's a great one by Baldi, by the way. Baldi's unbelievable. But Brendel, and if you look at the PFF numbers, Damon, the Niner offensive line, Puni, Trent, McKivitz, all graded really highly. Brendel, Niners offensive line had a very, very good day. You think about it. Brock Purdy, didn't get sacked. Didn't get muscled around or hit a bunch. I mean, he operated. They ran the ball with Christian effectively, and they got a number of nice blocks. So if you look at the 49ers and the PFF grades, and there, to me, I mean, I don't put everything into it, but I do like to look at it. As far as pressures, Niners generated 14, 5 from Bryce Huff, 3 from Khalif Farrell, 2 from Kalia Davis. Everybody else only had 1. But the 49 offensive line pressures, Trent gave up 3, Brendel gave up 2, everybody else 1, McKivitz gave up none. Highest graded Niners on defense, Jair Brown, Upton Stout, Malik Mustafa, 1, 2, 3. Highest graded 49ers on offense. Listen to this list. Dom Puni, Colt McKivitz, Trent Williams, Spencer Burford, Luke Farrell, Jake Brendel. So all basically offensive linemen. All 5 of their offensive linemen got 5 of the 6 highest grades on the offensive side of the ball. So that's really good. The offensive line, I'll say this, Damon, I go to practice and I know sometimes there's not a lot to be gleaned at practice. But one thing that it has been gleaned is that Chris Furster, I mean, these guys know that they're being scrutinized. These guys know that people don't think they're all that great. These guys know, the Brendels of the world, the Punis of the world know that people are ripping them. Burford and these guys, But I was talking to Ben Barch in the locker room after the game, and he really thinks things are really coming together for this offensive line, that they're blocking in unison, that they're on point, that they're having some improvement the last 2 or 3 weeks. And he was really excited after the game about what this offensive line's doing and how well he's playing. I mean, Burford got the start, but Barch, I didn't see the snap count, but Barch and Burford shared that guard spot. But the O-line, I mean, that's a big thing for the Niners right there. If the Niners are going to do anything, whether it's Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, Brian Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, they got to have an offensive line that plays better than they've played early this year. And then right now it's going good.
Well, again, I saw already people looking forward and ahead to next season start talking about how the Niners need to start attacking this draft. And because of a lack of pass rush, we know that the Niners always like a defensive lineman early. Maybe that needs to happen again. Maybe there needs to be a wide receiver because Ayuk's gone and Pearsall has never really shown up, and nobody else that they've drafted at that position is revealed that they're even going to be able to play in this offense. So they need to look wide receiver again, and they need to, nope. Offensive line. You are good when you're good up front. Really doesn't matter what you got around you. Everybody's got good wide receivers and running backs in this league. Do you have a good offensive line? Period.
Well,
Period.
And you've invested in you've invested in a wide receiver. His name's Ricky Pearsall. Okay, that's your offensive line. That's your wide receiver in the first round. You need to invest in an offensive lineman now in the first round. You also probably could use another great defensive lineman. And bottom line too is stop being so freaking rigid. Play this thing out and get the best players. It's like, if tomorrow somebody said, Krug, you're drafting for the Niners in 2026, the last thing I would do is be like, I'm drafting this position. No, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to go look at all the workouts, look at all the interviews. We're going to break the whole thing down. We're going to take great players. That's my approach. We're going to take great players. And if that means we're going to take great players at back to back at the same fucking position, then we're going to take great players back to back at the same fucking position. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to, the world doesn't come at you in the way you want it to. We need a tackle, a receiver, and an offensive lineman. Well, my first need is offensive line. My second need is defensive tackle. So in the first round, I'll take it out. No, it's not the way it works. You have to look for the value and look for the players and take them in whatever rounds they're going to be in.
I do think, though, that they've painted themselves into a corner on this offensive line, though. They really have.
But stop doing this. Stop doing this. It's like you stop showing up at Costco high and wondering why you keep buying too much food. It's like, that's the Niners in draft day. They show up. Oh, we got to have this. We got to have this. We got to have this. Well, wait a second, John. What if it doesn't play out that way? Then you got to get something else. What you got to get is a great player. Nobody's going to care. I mean, go back and look at your draft list. Did you have to have a tight end in the 5th round when you got Kittle? No, you found a great tight end and you just happened to draft him in the 5th round. Draft great players. It doesn't matter what round. It doesn't matter if you draft. It doesn't matter if you draft 2 great defensive tackles. I'd rather draft 2 great defensive tackles than 1 great defensive tackle and then pass on the other great defensive tackle to take an offensive tackle because I need an offensive tackle. No. Play the draft for stars. Do what the Lions are doing. Do what the best drafting teams do, which is go for great players. Have a conviction. You're not going to have a conviction on 1,000 players. There's 1,000 draft eligible players. You're not going to have 1,000 convictions. You may only have 7, absolute convictions. Get the guys you're most convicted about.
And here's the deal. Once you draft that guy with a conviction, have the conviction to actually then play them. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, it's like, don't treat your team like a street gang, I'm going to tell you right now, the 49ers are going to draft some wide receiver in the 4th or 5th round next year, and don't even bother learning his name because you're never going to fucking meet him. I mean, the history does repeat itself. Time is a little bit of a flat circle sometimes. The Niners will throw away 2 draft picks next year for sure. Get it wrong.
I mean, that helped, John, man.
We'll see. Let's here's the final scene. We always seem like we show this. Here's the final scene inside the locker room last night.
That helped, John, man. Big time win. Gotta give it to everyone here. Like, first of all, Tig, probably best game as a Niner. Big time play. Hey, they got a few big things, man. All right, Tig, the turnovers, guys. That was their chance to run away. You guys kept us in that. All right, Gay, welcome. All right. Hey, guys, I'm a cool-ass coach, so I'm going to give you guys Victory Tuesday tomorrow. You're welcome, dude. You're welcome. Hey, guys, short week. All right, you guys know the deal. We got Thanksgiving. We got a short week. We're going out to Cleveland on Friday. All right, big-time football for us all the way out, man. Come on, kid. Let's go, fellas. Let's go. I got you.
Hey, fellas, man, this week, man, was big, bro. Just taking, man, expectation and subbing it for appreciation, bro. And appreciating coming to work with y'all boys every day, appreciating the grind. Appreciate this, man. We don't know how much long we got, bro. This is a small game, bro. Small game, small portion of your life is what I mean. So keep doing this, man. Keep going. I appreciate working with you guys every day, man. Hey, Niners on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Christian McCaffrey. Want to do another one? All right, bro. Good job, man.
Hey, good job. Good job.
For real,
Hey, no,
seriously.
hey, you're a great player.
Way to go out there, man. Hey, much appreciation, much respect. Want to do another?
I helped
Hey, good job. Hey, much respect.
That's funny at the end. They're
By
trying
the
to
way,
do it for
Larry,
the
I know that
cameras.
yeah,
Much
I know.
respect. Wait, did you guys get that? Did you get another angle? Wait, we're trying to get. Hey, wait, much respect. Much respect. That's awesome.
They pivoted to Nick Bosa sitting in a luxury suite a couple times. It looked like he was nursing a beer. That might be the first carbs Nick Bosa has put in his body in like 8 years. So,
Nick's a dude, man. Nick's a dude. He's gonna, if you invite him to, the next Plus. I mean, he's gonna show up drinking a beer. He's not coming in with his carrot shake and trying to be ripped. He's a dude. He's out of season. He's gonna have the carb load.
He should. He should. Look, no, Kyle even said it. Gay, welcome. Seriously, don't tell me that.
Cool ass coach. How about that one? I'm a cool ass coach.
Yeah, you get tomorrow off. Well, of course you're going to get tomorrow off. By the way, and this is going to be a tough prep week. I mean, whatever, it's Cliff Notes preparing for the Cleveland Browns. These guys are going to get away on Thursday and have Thanksgiving with their families. And
do you remember the old Niner gag, the rookie gag on the Thanksgiving turkey gag? Do you remember that? Where they used to the Niners used to invite all the rookies to like this thing where they thought they were getting turkeys or something, and they showed up and all the players were spoofing them. They were supposed to pick up their free turkey. They did it every year for a number of years, but it was really good. But yeah, I mean, this is a, they get the Browns, and then they get the bye week, then they get the Titans, and then they get 3 games to finish, including
Big
one
ones
against the Bears.
The
Bears are playing well. Ben Johnson has turned that team around.
Let's see what happens between now and that Monday night game at the Colts. Things can change quickly, but look, at Colts, Bears, Seattle, you can't find like didn't see that coming tougher 3-game stretch to end a year than what the Niners really do have in front of them. There's going to be no letting the air out of the balloon easily at the end of this season. Maybe that Seattle game is worthless.
Well, how many wins do you think it's going to take? I mean, that's the other thing. It might take 11 wins. It's going to take 11 wins to get to the playoffs. You're going to have to outrun the Lions, and the Lions are going to win. I mean, I haven't looked at the Lions' schedule, but the Lions have got 7 wins. Niners have 8 wins and 1 game in front of the Lions. But the Lions feel like they're going to get in. To me, I mean, I don't see them losing any more games. I don't know. I haven't really looked at their schedule, but the Lions are a pretty damn good team. So that's going to be a tough one. Can the Niners outrun the Lions?
Lions. Oh, here's the good news though. The Lions got Packers, Cowboys, and look, Cowboys can nip you on your heels. You don't come out and play right. We can joke about the Cowboys, or you can be up 21-0 and lose to the Cowboys. Ask the Eagles.
Well, the Cowboys just got Quinnen Williams. I mean, Quinnen Williams has changed their look up front. I mean, there's a different team right now.
Listen to this, Larry. Packers, Cowboys, at the Rams, Steelers.
Ooh, okay.
At Vikings, at Bears.
Wait. That's too many games. Is that true? They can't have all those games.
Yeah. They've already had their bye week.
So they have the bye week. They've already had the bye.
They've already had their bye week.
Say that again. This is the Lions' schedule going forward.
Versus Green Bay in Detroit. Versus Dallas in Detroit. By the way, the Green Bay game is the Thanksgiving game.
Right.
So Green Bay is Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Going to be tough. Going to be a tough game.
Absolutely. Dallas at home. At the Rams.
That's going to be a tough game too.
Home to the Steelers.
No, that's a win.
Let's see what Aaron Rodgers is in that game if he's back.
And what's the last one?
Nope, 2 more. At the Vikings, at Chicago.
Well, those are tough games. At Vikings, at Chicago. Everybody knows the Vikings are not good right now, and they're really bad, actually. But that's a tough place to play.
Well,
always a tough place to play. And Chicago
Vikings
is a tough place to play when the Bears are good. And the Bears are good.
Look, the Vikings are a pretty good football team. Their problem is their quarterback. I brought this up yesterday. I didn't have the exact numbers in front of me. I brought them to today's show, Larry, because I wanted to tell you that stat that I had on J.J. McCarthy. He ranks J.J. McCarthy ranks 851st out of 852 EPA per dropback quarterbacks qualified. The only player below McCarthy is Jamarcus Russell. When you're there with Jaminka at the dawn of your career, and again, can I just bring this back to focus too? And I know that 49ers fans,
when the purple drank guy is getting you, oh, that's bad.
49ers fans, you want to know what a young quarterback problem looks like? Go look at the Minnesota Vikings. Look at what the Vikings moved on from Kirk Cousins, then they moved on from Sam Darnold to get to a young quarterback on a rookie deal who could not throw a ball out of a boat and hit the water. So
J.J. McCarthy yesterday against Green Bay, 12 of 19 for 87 yards and 2 picks. Ouch.
He's non-functional.
5 sacks. 5.
He's non-functional at the position. So, when you look at Brock and you say that's bad, and it was bad last night. Let's not pretend it was bad. He's so much better than that. I mean, the Niners think that they got a problem at the position of quarterback. You have a blessing.
Oh, you got two guys. You got 2 guys you can win with.
Yeah.
I mean, Brock. I mean, okay. Let's back this up real quick for a second. There's a lot of people who are going to be, Brock's not the guy. Brock's not good enough. Pump your fucking brakes. Everybody pump the brakes, okay? That's not the story. The story is about he might not be the right guy right now because of the toe and because of what the impact on his game, but he is absolutely the right guy. They absolutely got the right guy. They absolutely paid the right guy. This whole, he had a bad game playing with perf toe, and all of a sudden, let's just pretend that he didn't lead you to the Super Bowl. Let's pretend he hasn't won big games, playoff games, putting the team on his back. I mean, let's not lose our minds because of 3 interceptions. But as I said before, it still doesn't mean that I think they ought to play him over Mac Jones if this continues. I mean, I'm going to go with Purdy next week against Cleveland for sure. But if he has another 3 interception game, I'm going to monitor that real closely, and I probably would give him one more start after that. And if he has another bad game, I'm going to Mac Jones. And I'm saying, Brock, we're gonna go in a different direction. You get that toe right, and because but let's not lose. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, it's like, yeah, he might not be the right guy to play the rest of the way this year. He might not be better than Mac Jones the rest of the way with turf toe the rest of the way this year. But let's not get over our skis and read too much into this and be like, oh, they paid the wrong guy. They totally effed up. No, they didn't totally F up. This guy is the leader. This guy is a very good young quarterback. He's got turf toe and he's playing with it. If anything that gets beyond that is crazy talk and
overreaction.
It's an overreaction. It's a huge overreaction. I get it. There's a lot.
I got to be honest though. I was overreacting and saying I would have made a switch last night at halftime. The fact that Shanahan didn't is quite a testament to how much he believes in his player.
You were going to pull him the week before. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Remember you said pull him at halftime the week before.
No, when I said if he goes out there and stinks, you got an option.
Yeah, you were saying pull him at halftime of the first start. So I mean, there's lots of people that I understand. Believe me, I'm not saying that you were wrong or that was a crazy take. I'm just saying that there are people that didn't want to show patience, and I get it. But you had to go. You have to. He's been out a while. He is your starting quarterback. He wants to come back. Okay, fine. Now let's see what he looks like. We've had a couple games to see what it looked like. We've seen some good. We've seen some bad. And now we're gonna see probably a game or 2 more. And if we continue to see loopy, nothing throws that are getting picked out of the sky in multiples, then he's gonna sit down and it's time for Mac Jones. So, and I hope, and then we're gonna see the soft benching. Then we're going to see Brock's our guy, and he's always going to be our guy, and he's still our guy. But the toe has sapped him of his abilities, and we're gonna sit him out because he can't protect himself. We're going to hear that. If he continues to throw massive amounts of interceptions, you're going to see some form of soft benching with the excuse of the toe is, and I don't think it's necessarily even bogus. I just think that's what you're going to see. You're going to see them sit him down at some point if he continues to struggle. He might even sit himself down.
I think the most important thing for the Niners the rest of the way is to obviously win as many games as you can and hope Seattle catches a loss that they weren't expecting, hope Chicago catches a loss that they weren't expecting before either of those teams is in front of you. And, you know, all second place teams losing helps the 49ers get into the playoffs. Your Super Bowl odds this morning from Las Vegas, Larry.
Yeah.
The Rams are favored 4-1. Rams are favored 4-1.
Okay.
Eagles at 7-1. A group of 4 teams going off at 10-1. Ravens, Colts, Chiefs, Seahawks.
Whoa. Wait a second. Rams are the favorite. Eagles are the second choice. And the third choice includes the Baltimore Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
And who else?
Colts, Chiefs, Seahawks. Wow. 10-1. I think this is going off at Bovada.
What do you think of those 4? If I said to you, you got to bet one of those 4 to win the Super Bowl, who you got?
Seahawks.
I was going to say Chiefs.
I would take the Seahawks. I really think so. They're really good, man. They're really good. And Jackson Smith and Jigba is doing like Cooper Kupp shit this year.
I don't know. Something about the Seahawks is just, I don't trust Darnold. I don't trust Darnold. They're kind of a one wide receiver team. I know they got Rashid Shaheed, but they're kind of a one wide receiver team.
I know. Look, I'm just going with the vibes that I'm seeing. I just think that
they do have a rush. They do have a rush. They had 4 sacks and 11 quarterback hits on Tennessee.
Of those teams, I think that they've been the most consistent. Baltimore's inconsistency, you can trace that back to the injuries they've dealt with. The Chiefs, they're having an inconsistent year. They can still be the Kansas City Chiefs. They can stink. The Colts, there's a part of me that just refuses to believe it until I see it. I'm kind of a doubting Thomas on them, although I really do like Jonathan Taylor in their offensive line. I'm just going to – I think I wouldn't be surprised to see the NFC West represented in the NFC title game. I think the Seahawks or the Rams probably have a better chance of getting there than the Niners. I really do at this point. But let's see what happens. Let's see what going off at 12-1. You got 2 teams: Bills, Lions, both at 12-1. The Broncos are 14-1. Packers 14-1. Patriots 14-1. And then you get the 49ers. 49ers are 35-1. I don't think I'd bet that. I'm not getting a lot of value out of my Niners Super Bowl chances right now, I don't think. But 35-1. And what's interesting is, as banged up as the Niners are, they're got better Super Bowl odds than the Texans at 40-1, the Chargers at 40-1, the Bears at 50-1, Jaguars and Buccaneers also 50-1. By the way, the Baker Mayfield injury apparently isn't as bad as they had originally feared. So that's going to matter because the Buccaneers without Mayfield are nothing. And they've lost 3 in a row. So Tampa is fading from this conversation.
Well, it's interesting. You look at the playoff picture. I'm just looking at it as we speak. The 1 seed in the AFC is New England at 10-2. If the season ended today, Houston misses the playoffs with their killer D. Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers misses the playoffs. Kansas City misses the playoffs if the season ended today. And that's in the AFC. In the NFC, the Rams are the 1 seed. And missing the playoffs right now: Detroit, Carolina, Dallas, Atlanta, Minnesota, all missing the playoffs. If you had asked me, a couple weeks ago, hey, you know what? What's your Super Bowl pick right now? I probably would have gone Chiefs Lions. They're both missing the playoffs as we speak. That's wild, Damon. Yeah. That's incredible. Detroit's super loaded. Jahmyr Gibbs was spectacular this week. He's awesome. And they're on the outside looking in right now.
It's wide open. Wide open.
It's wide open.
Wide open.
Root against Detroit. Root against Green Bay. If you're the Niners, root against Carolina, root against Dallas, because the Niners are going to be, even though the Niners are 8-4, 4-1 in the division, 8-2 in the conference. That they've got lots of advantages there, but they're the 7 seed right now. They're the 7 seed. If the playoffs started today, the Rams would get the bye and the Niners would go to Philly.
Do you think Kyle Shanahan enters a legitimate Coach of the Year conversation with a playoff appearance? This feels like we're stepping into Mike Vrabelville, though.
Yeah, I mean, it has to go to Vrabel. It has to go to Vrabel or maybe Ben Johnson. I mean, you're winning in Chicago. Chicago has been a tough place to win. How about the Bears, by the way? They're 8-3, and yet they're 1-2 in their division.
Well, they started with the 2 losses, and they got boated in both of their first division games. For Chicago to be this good after that clumsy of a start, it is pretty impressive. And I'm telling you, I still there's a part of me that just does not believe in Caleb Williams.
Oh, I don't believe in Caleb.
I don't know. Here's the thing. He's a better athlete than he is a quarterback. So that always scared me a little.
All right. Should we hit our Habbas Law supers?
Let's do it, Larry. We had a lot pile up today. We're thankful for all of them. Again, hey, while you're bringing up Habbas, let me just tell everyone, we would be ultra thankful for you to be liking and subscribing to both of these channels. Thank you so much. We've got 1,900 people watching us right now, Larry, across all the platforms we are streaming on: YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, X, all the damn places that we put this show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. It really is a cool community. I know we all argue sometimes, but it's great to have you here. No, not football fans.
We got to argue. If we didn't argue, it would be a shitty show. All right.
Amen.
Today's show, which isn't shitty, is sponsored by Habbas Law. For more than 40 years, Omar Habbas and his son Tarek have been standing up for people right here in Northern California. I know we're on YouTube, but we're emanating from Northern California. They're fierce, relentless PI attorneys. They don't back down until justice is done, and they're proud sponsors of the Krug Show. They're also partners with Bay Area institutions like the San Francisco Giants, the San Jose Earthquakes, the San Jose Sharks. When you're injured, insurance companies try to dodge. They try to avoid paying you. But Habbas Law doesn't let them do that because they know the playbook. They've been battling and beating insurance companies for decades. So if you need someone in your corner, call the firm insurance companies hope you never call, and that's Habbas Law. They will fight to make it right. That's their slogan. Visit them online at habbaslaw.com, HABBAS law.com. Tell them Krug sent you, 1-800-INJURED. The great people, great attorneys. They've done some amazing things for some of my close personal friends that I've recommended to them. Habbas Law, big fans, 1-800-INJURED. All right, let's hit some supers, and we got a bunch, as Damon said, 27 rolling in here out of the chute. Oh, Joseph Ernberg, why is Jordan Watkins inactive? Old JJ and CMC is the offense. I don't care what anyone says about Ricky. He's a non-factor and a bust. Same old sorry-ass Brock. Oh, wow.
All I can tell you, Joseph, is I'm not going to argue with any of that today. I'm not defending Brock today. I defend Brock enough days of the year to sit this dance out, okay? That was bad. That was objectively bad. The Niners were very fortunate to survive that performance from Brock Purdy. But now that they have, let's see what he looks like in Cleveland. But again, I would have a short leash on Brock Purdy with someone as competent and as qualified as Mac Jones is behind him.
Get ready to be familiarizing yourself with the term soft benching. Eric Dowling, when Kyle runs a balanced offense, Purdy is fine. When he gets pass happy with his play calling, that's when things go downhill. Okay. I think Kyle does love his offensive balance. How about this?
Hey, I like offensive balance.
Your quarterback's got turf toe. Run the ball. You got 2 starting running backs and a line that's doing well right now. Run the ball. Run the ball. I mean, that's what I would say in Cleveland next week is run the ball. Run the ball at them. Propa 7146. Brock's turnover problem has been happening long before the toe injury. It's just excuses at this point. Floats passes into bad spots. Mac's better. Okay.
I'm not arguing with anyone who wants to take their shots at Purdy today. He's exposed himself to criticism when you play like that on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, the turnovers have been a problem, and they will get you beat. He's a great competitor. I love that about him. But late, I mean, if there's a common denominator of Brock Purdy, his turnovers, it seems to be this, Damon. Late over the middle, and then also with not a lot on it. And then also, we haven't hit on this, but I did a full breakdown on every statistical angle on this game going in. Brock Purdy's numbers against zone defenses are not good.
No.
Brock Purdy is a much better against man-to-man coverage. Against zone this year, coming into last night against zone, he had thrown 4 interceptions. Carolina played 84% zone coverage coming into the game, most in the NFL. And I asked the question in my notes, will Purdy throw an interception against zone coverages? Now, why is that? Because against man-to-man, he can throw it to the void. He can lead you to the open space. In zone, you got to rip it inside those windows, and if you don't have enough arm strength and ball speed to get it in there, and you start floating it, guys are breaking on those footballs. That's what happened. You mix in a little bit of inaccuracy, possibly due to the toe, a diminished arm strength, and zone coverages and floating balls in the middle of the field, especially late in the down. Bing, 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 bing. Three interceptions. So what's the key? I mean, the key is don't put him out there if he doesn't have good arm strength. Don't put him out there if he's floating garbage passes in the middle of the field repeatedly, and evaluate that and make a call. Fuji Simeon says, thanks for the live stream, Damon.
Another fun one last night. It was, we all got through it together. Thanks, everyone.
It's Fuji Simeon. Boo, Larry, a Sing Nations Wildcat doing math. SISH coming up Friday at Kezar, I believe. Or no, I'm not sure if it's at Kezar, if it's going to be in the South Bay. Right now it was scheduled for South Bay, San Jose City, I believe. SISH CCS. But I think they're trying to move that to Kezar. Either way, I'm going. I'm going on Friday. That's gonna be an awesome one. SISH. Go Cats, get them Cats. Go get them Cats. We got this one. Boo Larry, a Sing Nations Wildcat doing math. All right, there we go. Bill Kennedy, Brock's leash is way too long. Play Mac in Cleveland. Fuji Simeon, how was the media food, Larry? What would you request? They had tri-tip, sliced tri-tip. I got there a little late. I didn't get there late. I got there early, but then my brother went to the game with his wife and my nephew, and so I met up with them before the game and hung out and talked for a little bit. So I got upstairs only about, half hour before kickoff. But I had some tri-tip. I had some chicken something. I think it was chicken cacciatore or something like that. Had a nice little salad, some chicken fingers, a little mixing a little popcorn. Yeah, it was a full day. It was a full day. We got this one. Fuji Simeon, Larry, do you get your own media cubicle at Levi's? No, it's just a table. I sit next to Todd Husak and the KMBR guys down there on that side. And
no. I don't think he's asking about where you sit in the press box. Do you have your own little cubicle, like next to Barrows and Mayoko and Cam Inman and all the beat writers?
Yes, I do. In the media room, we all have our own cubicles. Interestingly enough, mine doesn't have my name tag on it, and so I just
Larry's kind of squatted on it.
I sit in basically the same spot until people just take it, and then I'll go sit somewhere else. But those other guys all have their name. I mean, it's like some of those guys you would swear sleep there. I mean, there's like, they got like family heirlooms and pictures of kids, and I mean, it's like it's their office. It's like
Cam Inman has decorated his cubicle like it's his high school locker.
Yeah, I mean, it's seriously. I mean, there's a, whatever. I don't even know what Kim's high school locker probably looked like. Can I tell you the guy next to me at SI when I was in high school had a picture that he would kiss every day of, wait for it, because this was 1987. Who do you think this dork had in his locker that he used to kiss the picture in 1987?
1987, have we reached the Kathy Ireland Sports Illustrated Reigning in Spain cover yet? Because that was in my locker.
I had a picture of Heather Thomas from The Fall Guy.
Sure.
Okay. He had a picture of Mary Lou Retton.
Mary Lou
gymnast.
Like
gymnast,
striking the stuck the landing pose.
Well, because I think didn't she win her golds in the 84 games?
She didn't look. Mary Lou Retton was America's sweetheart for a little while there.
I know, but seriously, you're getting romantic vibes about Mary Lou Retton. I mean, seriously, bro. I ripped the guy many, many times over it. Okay, let's see. But yes, I have my own media cubicle, which doesn't have my name on it. And by the way, Niners, if you want to give me a name tag, hey, you know what? Maybe they think maybe he'll be gone soon. Maybe we won't have to worry about a name tag. PWS West Coast says Brock might have thrown 3 picks, but to Carolina's credit, they got solid DBs and Purdy is a gunslinger. And also, why was the game on ESPN instead of ABC? LOL. Well, it's Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football's on ESPN. Is it not? Sometimes they go doubleheader and they'll go ABC, ESPN. But
so no, the reason
isn't
in your local market, they will put your local team on Monday Night Football on ABC.
Oh, to get more people to watch. We got this one, PWS West Coast. Thoughts on the mooring cheap shot to JJ? I mean, there's no place for that. There's no place for that. Football's a rough game played by rough guys. It's not a cheap game played by cheap ass guys.
Right.
You know, and that was a cheap shot. And
let me just say this:
it's not tough if you're giving cheap shots. And it's like once a Raider, always a Raider.
All I can tell you is that I think I'm glad that we live in a world where more reasonable people seem to be throwing fewer punches than maybe ever before, which is good. If you do have to throw a punch, though,
okay,
not in the dick. Don't punch another man in the dick.
Yeah, seriously, where's the man code?
Don't punch another man in the dick. Larry, you and I could have
it's not hard not to do. It's not like
Larry. There's you and I could get into the worst physical altercation of our lives. You and I could be at each other's throats. At no point in time am I going for the grundle. Not. I'm not going to punch you in the dick, no matter how upset I am at you. Wouldn't even think of it.
When I was in the 4th grade, Martin Anderson punched me in the balls so hard that I had like bruising in the area.
That you remember his name to this day. You'll never forget Martin Anderson.
Oh, Martin Anderson. Not only that, I grabbed this short little guy and threw his face into the fucking grass and pushed it down into the mud and pulled him by the hair up and I could barely breathe. And this guy's got dirt on his nose, dirt in his nostrils, and I pushed his head back in the grass. I'm like, F you. And when I told the teacher what had happened, I think she said, well, we don't condone fighting, but Martin, go see the principal. That was it.
Here's the thing. I really thought I thought that Jauan Jennings might have put himself in a position to get suspended in the following game, but he got punched in the dick so severely and clearly that has to be a neutral corners, no penalty. Morrig, don't you do that again. Jauan, we understand why you did it.
Man, you're in that age group now where you probably got to give your guy. How old's your oldest guy?
6.
When do you have that conversation of, hey man, somebody punches you, you got to punch him back, kind of a thing? Or do you? Is that not the message? Maybe that's not the message anymore.
No. That'll absolutely. So I'm going to tell my son kind of what my father told me. Never throw the first punch.
Those women in Playboy. Oh no, go ahead.
No, never throw the first punch. Always throw the second.
Yeah. My dad was not a big fighter guy, but he's like, hey, if somebody starts it, that's, don't start it.
Yeah.
But if you got to finish it, you got to finish it.
There are moments when it's turn the other cheek. If you got some bully just bullying you, you cannot let that happen. Men stand up for themselves. Men protect themselves, weaker people. That's what men do. Men are protectors, and you must protect yourself at all times. So,
yeah.
Can't throw that first punch, but if you got to throw that second punch, you go right ahead. I will never, ever, ever be upset for hearing that my kid was in a fight at school today and threw the second punch. I'm going to get him home and I'm going to say, nice job.
We got this one from Thomas Selman. Purdy needs to stop being a hero. Krug called it with the 2 deep safety looks hurting him. Thank God for CMC. His meeting with Craig was cool too. Did he have a meeting with Craig? I didn't see that. Was that part of the broadcast? Did he supposedly met with Roger Craig?
Oh, yeah. I saw a little CMC dapping up Roger Craig on somebody's timeline, just photos of it. Sure. By the way, Roger Craig, and it's not like that's the first time they've ever met. Okay, I mean, come on.
Put Roger in the Hall, man. Roger
He should be in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame. He's an evolutionary step in the history of football. You don't get to Christian McCaffrey without a guy like Roger Craig.
I mean, Roger Craig was one of the greatest players of all time that people have forgotten. It's just sad. Elking Gone says, I just don't trust Brock's arm anymore. I hear you. I mean, it's right now you've been watching him operate hurt for a few games now, and it doesn't look the same. Mike Baker _drum says, happy Thanksgiving, Larry and Damon. Wish you and your families the best. Thank you. That's awfully sweet.
Thank you very much. Right back at you, man.
For both your channels. Let's go Niners. We got this one from Larry Martin. I hate our fan base. Darnold, Goff, etc. have a high interception game and get a pass. Brock had to be perfect every game. Then when he is, it's his weapons. Shaking my head. Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of discontent, period. But I hear you.
I will say this about Brock.
The Brock Purdy people who have obviously hated him, but pretend to like him, that's what's galling to me. Oh, I'm a huge Brock fan. Really? Because if I checked your fucking Twitter timeline, asshole, you've tweeted like 17,000 anti-Brock things, but now you're going to stand up in a live stream and tell us you're pro-Brock? You're not pro-Brock. You're just pro getting clicks, and your channel's dead on arrival if you tear into the Niners starting quarterback. So for the good of your weak-ass channel, you're going to kiss his ass when you need to. But as soon as he has any bad moments, you're going to start calling for, he's not him, this guy's that, whatever. I
don't think that there is a player in football who sees his own field goal moved on him more than Brock Purdy. They move the goalposts on this guy no matter what he does. I'll say this.
I mean, Cowherd's the king of it. I mean, Cowherd last week was like, Brock Purdy's damn good. Today he's got a video up. He's right-handed Tua. You know what? You're a right-handed dumbass is what you are, Cowherd. So fuck off. I mean, seriously, this guy sways in the wind like nobody's business. Do you like him? Do you not like him? I mean, you don't like him, and then when he plays well, you just grudgingly, guy's pretty damn good.
I do know
as soon as he loses, as soon as he throws a couple picks, he's right-handed Tua.
You can't tell me what Brock Purdy is when you got as razzle-dazzle confused by Trey Lance. Like, if you thought Trey Lance was about to be the man, then your opinion of what it takes to be a quarterback in this league just does not mean much to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I think that's fair. Lillian, is that Lillian Lillian 221.
Lil Ant. I don't know.
Lil Ant. Trent Baalke impersonation of Brock's game. I'll tell you, Damon, the guy's got a powerful package, and I mean that in the manliest of ways. But I will say this, Damon, you can't throw picks. Picks get you beat. I told Jimmy Tom Sula, I said, Jimmy, picks will get you beat, and he said, Trent, you're a fucking idiot. And I said, hey, yeah, but picks will get you beat. So there you go. There's my Trent.
No, let's keep going. We got a lot of them.
David Esger. Were the quarterback sneaks good? PT? What's PT? Plate? What's part-time? I don't know. If it's his toe, it's hard to believe that helped. Aren't things going downhill for Brock if his toe is the issue? No, it's turf toe. I mean, it's maddening, but I don't think things are going downhill for Brock. I think
it's funny on a team where we're not necessarily impressed with the center play. This goes back to Garoppolo. The Niners are great at QB sneaks. Like, they don't need to push because they just sneak it successfully pretty much all the time.
Well, it was good to see. I mean, it's, and what's interesting too is that you'll see you'll see, like Shanahan will call a play that's obviously designed to just be a conservative first down play that gets him 3 or 4 yards. But if he doesn't get that play, then it's 2nd and 10. And he's kind of a little bit behind the sticks. It's like nobody. Sometimes you wonder if you maybe a smart play would be get the quarterback under center, go 5 wide or spread everybody out, empty the backfield, get those wide splits, and then just run the quarterback on first down for 3 or 4 yards to make sure that you get to 2nd and manageable and 3rd and manageable. It may be the future of the sport that we see some of that stuff, because I mean, Damon, they're not getting a half yard. They're getting 4 yards, 3.5, 4 yards on some of these quarterback sneaks. So why wait until it's 4th down? Why not, take the 4 yards on first down? And if they're going to give it to you, if they're going to give you a wide open lane like that, I mean, watching some of these quarterbacks, it's like, hey, 4 yards on first down, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that on any play. Okay, let's see. Where are we here? I hate our fan base. Trent Balky. Okay, we got that one. Here we go. Fuji Simeon. Hearing about how great a person is when they don't do anything. Larry, that's the SI Wildcats or SH Irish. LOL, Reardon alum. We already know who we are. Oh, whatever. It's funny at the big game. I did the pregame for Cal Stanford, and I heard this, cheer, something like, hey, hey, ho, ho, or something like, ho, ho, hey, hey, you're going to work for us someday. Have you heard that one? I mean, it's like, seriously. I mean, you're a Stanford student going to tell the Cal kids they're going to work for you, or you're a Cal kid going to tell the Stanford kids they work for you. It's funny. I mentioned to Todd Husak, who went to Stanford. I'm like, Todd, because we were talking about different people he went to school with. I'm like, Todd, you ever run into an old Stanford guy who's like, I don't know, down on his luck and down to his last dime and, has no options and no opportunities? He's like, no, I really haven't. I'm like,
what's the old saying? If you're smart enough to earn a scholarship at Stanford, there's no way you're dumb enough to not take it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Fuji says, hopefully it doesn't, JJ doesn't get fined or anything. Oh, JJ's getting fined.
He'll get fined, but not suspended.
He's getting fined for sure. Fuji says, Larry, not Minecraft. It's Fortnite or Call of Duty. It's funny. I did an interview last week in the locker room with Bryce Huff. And I'm like, hey, man, what do you do, away from the game when you're, what are your interests? Do you hunt? Do you fish? Some guys rap, make their own music. Some guys cook. Some guys travel. What's your interest outside of the game? And he's like, I like to play, I think it was like Call of Duty or
Call of Duty. Call of Duty's huge among athletes.
It definitely wasn't Minecraft, and definitely wasn't Fortnite. We got this one. Bill Kennedy, Purdy does not play well in bad weather. Play Mac. Well, that might be a reason to have a quick hook.
Have we got a forecast for
it's going to be in the 40s? 40s, and they said 40s, but if it dips down a little bit, it could snow. Gizmo Maltese, CMC is averaging 3.7 yards per attempt. B-Rob's averaging 4.7. We should see more B-Rob and bring CMC more on third down. We're near the bottom of the league in rushing. Yeah, seriously.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brian Robinson had a game where he averaged like 6 yards a carry. He barely touched the ball. It's like, get this guy the ball. Come on. I mean, I realize you love CMC, but if you love him so much, don't you want to see him healthy in the playoffs? I mean, the Niners' chances are not great, but I think we could all agree on one thing. Their chances are directly tied to their ability to keep Christian healthy in the playoffs. If they get Christian and healthy in the playoffs, they got a shot. It may not be a great shot, but they got a shot. How about let's do that and get that shot? Is that crazy of a thought?
Without Christian McCaffrey, you're the team that went 6-10 last year.
Right.
Or 6-11, whatever that was.
You have 2 starting running backs. I mean, run your offense like that. You would swear they have one running back and the next guy's some shit turd. But guess what? The guy behind McCaffrey can play. Heather Taylor says, how do we get the Brock Purdy we got last night after how well he played against Arizona? Cleveland plan has to focus on ball control, high profit plays. Defense was huge. Yeah, I mean, first of all, every week that goes by, theoretically, you're going to get a worse version of Brock Purdy because he's not fixed. He's just been resting. So his turf toe is going to get worse every week. So yeah, that was my point of holding. I mean, this is why it's like sometimes I'm like, just want to bang my head against the wall. You could have held him out to the bye week, and then you would have had 3 or 4 games after that, and then the playoffs. But I think the 49ers lost confidence. Shanahan lost confidence in Jones's ability to win these easy games and decided he had to go to his best quarterback in Brock Purdy. But now, how many games is Brock Purdy going to be able to play before his season's done because of too much pain and too ineffective, all due to the turf toe? I would say he's got, and I said to you last week, maybe 3 to 5 games. So he's played 2. So maybe he has 1 more. Maybe he's got 3 more. But I don't think he's got like a full rest of the season and then playoff run. So I didn't get why they brought him back when they did. But
there's a very good chance that Myles Garrett might make this decision for the 49ers. I mean, I'm going to set the over-under on 1.5 sacks for Myles Garrett next week. You taking the over or under, Larry?
Oh, I'm taking the over. And what you're basically saying is that Myles Garrett may give him an injury that makes him forget about the turf toe because he's got a separated shoulder. So I don't know. I mean, that's, gosh, a couple more here. Great job, 13. Either Kyle plays fantasy or is putting together a really, really early campaign for CMC in the Hall of Fame. That's all I can think. Yeah, I mean, it's just, bro. I mean, I know you love the guy, but I mean, Brian Robinson's pretty good.
CMC could never play another down. He's in the Hall of Fame right now.
That's fine, but I mean, get me Frank Gore and maybe more importantly, Roger Craig in there first. Eric Pierce says, respectfully, wasn't Ricky 3rd in the league in receiving yards before the injury? Wasn't he open twice last night on the 2 picks, 1 in the end zone? Love the show. I mean, respectfully, none of that shit matters. I mean, as far as the 3rd in the league in receptions before the injury. Okay.
Like after 2 games, who cares?
Yeah,
it's,
Yeah. So after 9 seconds, I was leading a race. I mean, who cares?
Larry, the first 10 minutes of this show were really good.
Was he open twice last night? I mean, what we count catches, we count touchdowns. We respect the hell out of good blocking. Now we're really gonna be like, who was open? I talk to wide receivers for a living. They're all open. This just in. Everybody's open all the time. And it's just a matter of, do you produce? Enough of the bullshit excuses. There's a sign on the wall in the Niner locker room. It says, protect the team, be on time, and don't make excuses. Follow that. Stop making excuses for receivers that don't do anything. This guy was drafted in the 1st round. He's supposed to do more than get open a couple times. How about a touchdown? His number's 1. It should be 0 for his number of touchdowns. Gio, our Jeff 49er says, Larry, nose tackle from Ohio State, Caden McDonald, is an A-plus run defender and has the twitch to get off to be a 3 technique. 2 sacks against Washington. Niners 1st round, I'd take him. That's the guy that Matt Miller from ESPN, the draft analyst, had mocked to the Niners. Yeah, he's big time. He's 325 pounds and he's got twitch and movement. I absolutely would start my draft with Caden McDonald if I could.
Can't wait till Indiana just eats him up in the Big Ten title game.
Be careful what you wish for. Jeff 49ers. We got that one. We got this one. Michael Cervantes, thank you for being so honest, for not bullshitting and thinking us fans are dumb. Oh my dude. The one thing Damon and I will never do is assume that the fans are dumb. It's funny. I talked to a guy long ago. I don't know if I ever told you this, Damon, but I talked to a guy long ago at the NAB in 1994 when I was just getting started. And by the
way, for everyone who is not a broadcaster, that's the National Association of Broadcaster Convention.
Right. And I was working for Ron Barr.
Biggest group of virgins you'll ever meet in your life.
Who's that?
The NAB.
So I'm working for Ron Barr. He has Rome on the show. And so at that time, I was a huge Rome fan. And so I'm chatting him up at the commercial break. And I said, Jim, I'm a young, wannabe sports talk show host. You're on top of the sports talk show industry. what do you have any advice? And he's like, my man. And then he's like, there's two approaches. You can assume people are dumb, or you can assume people are smart. And you just got to decide which one you want to be. And he goes, I like to assume people are smart, and then I'll be surprised if they're not, as opposed to thinking everybody's dumb and being surprised when they're smart. And that's what we do. That's always been my approach. That's why I don't talk dumb stuff. That's why I try to be smart. That's why I try to bring intelligent discussion. That's why I get deep on players and topics, because I want everybody to watch and listen, but the smart sports fan, I need that sports fan to want to watch me and want to listen to me. So that's the guy. That's how I've always thought of it that way. I assume everybody's really smart, and I assume the audience is smart. And and Damon knows this for sure. If you do what we've done for as long as we've done it, you've read that email that comes from Leo in Foster City or whatever, and he's right. And so you realize that right then that, you know what, your audience is actually really smart. They're made up of people that really watch this stuff close. So yeah, that's my approach. Always assume the audience is really smart and knows what they're watching. We got this.
Larry, I think these morons are lucky to have us. No, I'm just kidding.
So guys, thanks for being so honest, for not bullshitting and thinking
Thank you, Michael.
You say it how it is, and this is the best show on YouTube.
Thank you. Look, I've never been more thankful for the audience that we've been able to pull over here. I didn't think it was going to be available in a post-radio career, and we bring bigger audiences to this show than any show that's on the radio brings. This is the biggest sports station in San Francisco when Larry and I are on together.
This is a growing deal, too. It's a growing deal. Every day we show up, there's more people here. Chino says, Niners trade Ayuk to the Eagles for A.J. Brown and a D lineman. You're not getting A.J. Brown for Ayuk. You'd be lucky if you get, Bob Brown. I mean, you're not getting anything for Ayuk.
The only commonality they have is they're both headaches.
Yeah, Philly's not taking Ayuk, and they ain't giving you A.J. Brown for him. PWS West Coast. You think the Giants are the favorites to sign Tatsuya Imai? When asked if he would join the Dodgers, Imai said he wanted to beat them. I saw that. I really like this kid. Now, he's a right-handed strikeout pitcher, but he only weighs 154 pounds. So it's a little bit of a lincecum. But this guy is like, hey, I don't want to be a Dodger. I want to beat the Dodgers. I'd sign him for that reason alone.
It's going to be a great New York Yankee.
I know, seriously. Terrence says, sidelines are your friend as a quarterback. Need more passes to the sidelines. Yeah, seriously. I mean, the Eagles almost never throw the ball in the middle of the field, and Hurts takes better care of the ball. Purdy operates in the middle of the field, and in the middle of the field, there's all kinds of defenders hanging out that are watching your eyes and breaking on your ball, and it's problematic. But that's where he wants to operate. And those are easier throws to make when the receiver crosses the quarterback's face. Fuji says, Larry was the guy next door to your locker, super short. His name was Matt something. He was on the cross country team. That's all I remember. Matt something from the cross country team. Kissed his Mary Lou Retton every day, and I just ripped him.
Big man,
bro, come on, bro.
Hey man, to each their own. Maybe that's your bag, baby.
Mary Lou Retton.
Look at it this way. Who's going to beat her in the Department of Flexibility?
I know, but I mean, seriously, gymnast from 1984. It felt so wrong. PWS West Coast drops this one. He says, Krug, who are the Wildcats playing? They're playing SISH, CCS. Yeah, that's why it's such a big deal. I had a couple people come up to me last night. He's like, dude, you going to the game? SISH Friday, man. Go Cats. Get them, Cats. Go get them, Cats. Fuji Simeon, the legend of 4-year-old Larry, legendary fight still lingers in the Sunset District. LOL, from Stewart Hall Grammar School to St. Ignatius High School. Haha.
No one's whooped more ass along what is that? Sunset or whatever. What's in front of SI right there? What's it? It's not Park Presidio. It's
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard. Yeah, no one's kicked as much ass on Sunset Boulevard as Kruger.
Oh, I mean, I got my butt kicked many times. I mean, I got beat up when I was 11 years old by two guys on Geary Street who almost ran me over, and I flipped them the bird, and then they took the corner guy out of their car, and two of them just on me. Me and my buddy. I was like in the 6th grade, dude. And these guys were like 18 years old, and I was in the 6th grade. I mean, that was pretty bad. Looking back on it, it's like, you know, those guys should have absolutely got beat up by somebody bigger, but instead they picked on a 6th grader. What can you say? Living in the city, baby. Bill Kennedy, where does Mendoza go in the draft? Number 1. He goes number 1. That's where he goes.
I hope he doesn't go to the Raiders. I mean, like that poor guy. I hope if he goes to the Raiders, he's totally screwed. If he goes to the Jets, he's totally screwed.
Where's he going to go? Let me see exactly who's got the first pick right now. Right now, if you just went at it right now, Tennessee at 1 and 10 would be the pick, but they've got Cam Ward.
Right. So
the Giants have the 2nd pick, but they have Jackson Dart. So maybe New Orleans with the 3rd pick, but they have Tyler Shuck. Will they go quarterback there? Jets, Raiders, Cleveland.
What if Cleveland takes another quarterback?
I'll tell you a sleeper team. Maybe Miami. Maybe Miami trades up. They have the 10th pick. If I'm Tennessee, I'd move back with Miami. Basically give me your entire draft. Yeah, Mendoza is going to be good though.
How about this? If this really is like Tennessee, New York, or a team, you know, just drafted a quarterback, boy, you got yourself a lottery ticket. If you're sitting on the Mendoza pick and you don't need him, oh, what a haul you're going to be able to get.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. And the way he's playing right now, if he continues to play this well. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks to Picking a Pickle. Thanks to Sleeper. Thanks to Habbas Law for sponsoring the Krug Show. Damon, I'll give you the final word before we bolt for the door. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. You know, this is a great time of year for a lot of people. It's a tough time of year for a lot of people. You know, all I could say is if you're out there and you're hurting, you know, you're in our thoughts and prayers. And I think we all should just go forward this Thanksgiving season with the knowledge that, you know, as good as we might be doing, there's people that are really, really struggling. And just try to say a prayer for those people that they can find whatever it is that they need, and hope everybody has a safe and productive Thanksgiving weekend. Don't be that person that, you know, gets up at 4:00 in the morning on Friday to go stand in line to save $75 on a Samsung. Don't do it. Don't do it. I think that tradition's dying out, but
Black Friday is just awful. I mean, who goes to a brick and mortar to buy anything anymore? Just, I guess, order it. But
it's Black Friday has been replaced by what they call Cyber Monday, which is probably a good thing.
If you are fortunate enough to be hosting a Thanksgiving dinner and you have extra room at your table, seek someone that you think needs a seat at that table. I invited Nick Friedel over to Thanksgiving dinner because I know he's a single guy.
Decision, dude. I invited him last year. No, I'm just kidding.
Guy ate all the fucking pie.
Bad decision. We're still regretting that.
But I did. I know Nick is back in town. He's got a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't know what he was doing. I said, Nick, if you're in town for Thanksgiving, come on over, man. We got a seat at the table for you. And he's like, no, I'm actually going to be heading home. I'm going to be going to see my mom. And that's great. That's great. If you have the chance to invite someone who you think will be alone on Thanksgiving and you're hosting Thanksgiving, do it. That invitation. Nick, by the way, just the invitation made him feel so good. I have another buddy of mine, my buddy Dan. Is it Dan? What are you doing for Thanksgiving, man? And you live alone? I'm not going to have you TV
That's
dinner.
A great idea. It's a great idea, Damon. I have my cousin's son she's from Chicago, but my cousin's son relocated. He is the manager of a Dave and Buster's. You ever been to Dave and Buster's?
I have.
So he manages the Dave and Buster's. He was managing the one in Chicago, and then he's moved his way up the corporate ladder, and they moved him to Albuquerque, and now he's managing the brand new Dave and Buster's up in Reno. So, so I told my brother, I said, "Hey, we got to invite.
Come on down.
Got to invite our long lost distant second cousin to Thanksgiving." So I got to check on that as soon as the show's over. I'm going to check on that.
Hey,
so yeah, you're absolutely agree. I mean, if you can extend the invite, please do. And just, I think more than anything, just, we all need to be, show as much humility and be as humble as we possibly can be, because life is a funny thing. Life is sometimes you're on top and sometimes you're on the bottom. Sometimes you're on top and then you're on the bottom. Sometimes you're on the bottom and then you're on the top. So the bottom line is, be humble hearts, and say a prayer. And if you can help out, please do. A couple years ago, Damon, I felt like I'd given my kids all these different gifts, and I said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to go work at St. Anthony's Dining Room and hand out meals. Who wants to go?" And my boys all are like, no, I don't want to do that. But my daughter was like, "I'll go with you, Dad." And, she went, and we handed out meals, and, the gift of, and I told her as we're driving home, and I'm like, that gift is the gift of perspective. Yes. I go, you know what? Life isn't about what happens to you or what you have. It's about your perspective on what happens to you and what you have. And there are people walking around that have nothing, but they have great perspective. There's people that walk around, they have everything, and they have no perspective.
Well, that's why I brought up
if you can give your children the perspective of knowing that they're fortunate, that in and of itself is a tremendous gift. So if you can, try to give back. There's an awful lot of people in need. I think that my favorite thing about Thanksgiving is the countless number of people who come together in California and New York and Texas and every state in the union to kind of circle the wagons and feed the poor and hand out turkeys and hand out, there's a lot of good. I know that we see social media and we see all the bad, and we see the, the bullying and the crime and all the bad stuff. But deep down, I really think people are good. And you do see lots of great stories of people doing really good and kind things for one another during Thanksgiving. I hope we never lose that.
And let me just tell you that as soon as Thanksgiving comes, Friday is move-in day for the Guardsmen tree lot down at Fort Mason in the Marina. This is a passion project of mine, and I've been a Guardsman since 2011. I'm not even a Guardsman anymore. I'm a senior. I'm too old. But I'm going to be down there, and we're going to be doing some shows from down there, and we are going to be inviting everyone down. And think about getting your tree from the Guardsmen tree lot. With every tree purchase, we send an at-need, risky kid in the Bay Area to summer camp.
Where's the lot, Damon? Is it just one lot, or are there multiple lots?
It's the Guardsmen tree lot at Fort Mason. It's the Festival Pavilion in the Marina. And it's a great tree lot. It's a great place to go spend some time with the family. We got bouncy houses for the kids. We got cocktails being served. It's a really wonderful indoor Christmas
one day, or is it open? One day or open all?
So the move-in day is the day after Thanksgiving. So Friday's move-in day, and then Saturday, this coming Saturday, the Guardsmen tree lot will be open for 3 weeks from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And we hope that if you are going to be buying a Christmas tree coming out to the Guardsmen tree lot, the money that you spend on that tree will directly improve an at-risk Bay Area child's life.
Very cool. Very cool. 2 last supers and we'll bolt. Lick Scorpion. Larry, at halftime, I posted to Lynch. Tell Kyle to run the damn ball. I think he phoned it in. Yeah. And we have Tristan who says, don't suspend Morig. Just make him finish his career with the Raiders. Yeah, that'll do it.
The ultimate punch in the dick.
That's going to do it for us. For Damon, I'm Larry. Thanks to our sponsors. Hit like and subscribe on your way out the door. Peace. Happy Thanksgiving.